This storyline, it's exploding in ways I did not expect. Seriously, this might be one of the most emotionally chaotic arcs we've seen in Beyond the Gates in years. Let me walk you through it, because what's happening to Madison right now, it's not just drama. It's a full-blown psychological and moral battlefield. So here's the situation. Madison is now entangled in a lawsuit. Yes, a real reputation-destroying lawsuit, and the fallout hits immediately where it hurts most, her relationship with Chelsea. They were engaged, planning a wedding by the end of the year. Everything felt stable, hopeful, almost too perfect. And if you've watched soap operas long enough, you already know when things look perfect, disaster is right around the corner. And boom, it hits. Now, let's be real for a second. The irony here is insane. Madison isn't fighting some external villain. She's caught in a crisis triggered by her own mother, Willow. Yes, her mother, and not in some over-the-top, evil, mastermind way. No, it's worse. It's subtle, it's careless, it's believable. Willow shared a home remedy, ginger garlic, natural fever treatment, and Madison, trusting her, reposted it on her platform. That's it. One decision, one click. But because Madison has credibility, influence, people listened. And then this is the part that shook me. A child nearly died from septic shock after following that advice. I mean, can you believe that? Now Madison is being sued by the child's mother. And honestly, I feel torn. Part of me thinks this is unfair. Madison didn't create the remedy. She didn't intend harm. But another part of me says she amplified it, and influence comes with responsibility. That's the kind of moral gray area this show used to thrive on. Think back 7 or 8 years ago when legacy characters were constantly forced to choose between truth and loyalty. This is that energy all over again. And emotionally, Madison is spiraling. Not just because of the lawsuit, but because every move she makes now could destroy her relationship with Willow permanently. And let's not forget Bill. As a father, he understands the pain of fractured family bonds. He knows this isn't just legal, it's deeply personal. But here's where it gets interesting. Bill and Naomi are stepping in to help Madison. Not because they have to, but because they choose to. They see her as family, just like Chelsea. And I love this dynamic. It reminds me of those older arcs where chosen family mattered more than blood. Now, Naomi's perspective, very strategic. She believes if they ignore the complaint, it could look like an admission of guilt. And she's not wrong. In the world of public perception, silence can be deadly. But Bill plays the long game. He suggests something unexpected, compassion first, approach the child's mother, show concern, de-escalate. And honestly, I think he's right. Because let's be honest, courtroom drama might be flashy, but emotional resolution, that's where soap operas hit hardest. Still, don't underestimate Bill. If things go south, he will be ready to defend Madison in court. But here's the real emotional gut punch. Madison decides to postpone the wedding. Yeah, that moment, quiet but devastating. Because she doesn't want this chaos to damage Chelsea, especially now that Chelsea just started working with Fenmore's. And this is where I have to say it. I admire Madison. I really do. A lot of fans might see this as her pulling away, but I see it as sacrifice. She's choosing to protect Chelsea's future, even if it costs her own happiness in the short term. Now let's talk about Willow, because this is where things could either collapse or heal. I genuinely think this incident is going to break her in a good way, a necessary way. When she realizes that her actions nearly destroyed her daughter's life, not metaphorically, but literally, it's going to force her to confront herself. And if the writers play this, right, we could see one of the most powerful redemption arcs in recent years. Because right now, the conflict between Willow and Madison isn't just about blame. It's about trust, legacy, generational mistakes. And if you remember the older seasons, this show loves exploring how parents unintentionally damage their children. And then there's Ashley. Her reaction might seem secondary, but it's actually very telling. She's deeply invested in Madison's research, especially involving Grayson's mother in her experimental program. And now, everything is delayed because of the lawsuit. Ashley being disappointed isn't just about science, it's about hope being put on hold. And that theme, hope delayed, that's running through every storyline right now. So where does this all go? Here's my theory. Madison will take Bill's advice. She'll reach out to the child's mother not as a public figure, but as a human being. That moment will either soften the situation or completely backfire. Meanwhile, Willow will begin her slow descent into guilt and self-reflection. Chelsea? She's the wild card. Because if the pressure builds too much, what if she starts questioning whether this relationship is worth the chaos? And if that happens, we're not just talking about a postponed wedding anymore. We're talking about a full emotional collapse. But hey, this is beyond the gates. Nothing stays broken forever. The real question is, how much damage will be done before things are finally put back together? And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.